To support Dr. Mommy and Gracie developing these experiments and to purchase class materials, please visit us at patreon.com/drmommy. Hey families, it's time to start class 2. So in the first class, we did some observing, right? We had our own samples for our herbarium, and we kind of incorporated them into the 6 carefully curated samples of the herbarium that I sent you. So Gracie and I actually took out our sample. So this is Gracie's herbarium, and this is her first sample. And we actually took out all the samples. And I asked her to arrange them. And it was quite an exercise, I have to say, right? You know, she's like, well, this doesn't even look like a plant. I was like, yeah, it's true. I mean, it is green. She's like, well, this doesn't really have roots. And, you know, these ones don't really have fruit. You know, we kind of talked about how different all these samples were. And at the end of the day, we really couldn't arrange them or group them. And when she told me that, I said, you are absolutely right. There's just not enough to go on now. We need more samples. And so what she did was something really important. She knew that she didn't know, that there just wasn't enough evidence to make a conclusion. And that's critical to doing good work in science. So I was really proud of her. So what we're going to do in this class is we're going to move forward in time from the time of Aristotle, around 400 BC, all the way through medieval times, so around 1400 AD. So that's 1800 years. And you know, think to like what you had to do to get your herbarium samples, right? Like maybe it was like a hike, so like an afternoon, and then you spent a few days maybe drying your sample and putting it in a bag and, you know, putting it in your herbarium. So, you know, maybe a couple days, right? One person. Now try to multiply that by, you know, almost 2,000 years. And, you know, there were millions of people living and dying during that time. So if each of them had done one sample for their herbarium, right, that would be a lot of samples over a huge geographic area. So you'd think there'd be a lot of observations. Not all of them would be good, right? Maybe somebody didn't do a good job preserving them. I bet a bunch of people would pick the same plants, you know what I mean? So you get a lot of replication, but you also get a lot of unique samples, well preserved and well observed, right? Well, now you get to open up your next set of samples for the herbarium, and you're going to see the kinds of observations they made in the Middle Ages. So you can tell that they look pretty different. And we're going to learn why in the next 3 chapters of our reading. But what I want you to do with these next 3 samples is try to incorporate them in your existing set of samples and see how you would group them, how you would classify or categorize your new samples with your previous samples. So tell me what you're thinking in the comments. Complete sentences as always. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Oh, this is Aristotle. Don't forget to tip your narrator. Most audiobooks cost about $20, so $1 a chapter would not go amiss.